Hey everybody, welcome back. We just saw Independence Day Resurrection. Woo! And we're pretty much straight out of the theaters. We just did our no spoiler video, which leads me to the fact that this is the spoilers video. This is all spoilers. Spoilers. So, you've been warned. You don't want spoilers? Get on out of here and check out our non-spoiler video. Something's popping up, or there's a link in the description. Then hope you'll come back and check out our spoiler video when you want to check it out. And once you've seen the movie. Or, if you don't care about spoilers like somebody I know, you can just check this thing out and see what you think. So, with that said, we dug the hell out of it. We did. And in case you didn't see the non-spoiler video, I'll say this really short, but there was a glitch with our seats. We didn't get to see it in 3D. Theater more than made up for it, so we're all, we're not pissed at Regal or anything. They're fine. They treated us very well, but that was a slight bummer.
As someone who comes from a customer service background, they did a phenomenal job handling that.
Yeah, as best they could. They absolutely took care of me as best they possibly could. And plus, I know my dad wants to see it really bad, so it's a chance for me to come back in 3D.
Yeah.
Maybe they can come too if they want, but I don't know. But anyway, so all that said, we all pretty much in agreement. We had a blast with the movie.
Yeah.
Shut off your brain. It's not a thinking movie. Like they said, if you know your physics well, don't think about physics. But I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys start off some of the toppings, the talking. And whoever wants to go first, tell me what was one of your favorite parts.
I said this in the non-spoilers, but the whole getting more into how the aliens themselves work.
Yeah, getting to see them with lasers and be a military force and everything.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I love the fact that they're only vaguely humanoid.
Yeah.
They're less. I think they're even less humanoid than the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an argument to be made for that, and there's definitely some aliens stuff.
I think they're
very
sectopeds.
I don't know. That's a word with too many syllables. I don't know. But
yeah, they basically had 4 legs and then 2 armish things,
and then a Medusa-inspired
tentacle thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But speaking of the aliens, there's a couple things I do want to point out since we are in the spoilers video. There's some inconsistencies with the first movie and the second movie that kind of glossed over. In the first movie, they're like, oh, they're here for our resources. They're like locusts. They're going to come, occupy our planet and stay here, because that's why they were wiping everybody out in part 1. Whereas, if they're really here for just the core of the Earth, why do they even need to wipe us out? Why not just drill for the core and shoot anybody that comes near you, and then we're all dead once you take the core? Because that also coupled with the fact that they had to come to our planet because it's their atmosphere. It's an atmosphere they can live in. Yet clearly they can create their whole ecosystems within their own motherships. So why do they need to steal other planets?
Because you still need to take on resources at some point.
Well, and
you can only recycle so much.
If you're gonna be take over the galaxy, you take over planets whether you need them or not.
Fair enough. It was
you're there to take over.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's the argument that can be made in favor of the first movie is that the humans are working with incomplete information.
Right.
A lot of it is just straight up guesswork.
Yeah, I can give you that.
And it could be that they did start drilling when the main ship was actually drilling. So
they did. They did actually. They said that happened.
They may have also been reconning, going okay, does this planet have anything else that we might want?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying I agree with you because you're right. They did make a point in this one that there was a ship in Africa that had landed that we didn't see in the original movie, and it was drilling. So, okay, fair enough. Like I said, it was just a minor nitpick. Oh, by the way, also, I just wanted, since I didn't say it in this, I said it in the non-spoiler, but of course, this is Mike Elmore. This is one of our great buddies. You've probably seen him in at least that one AGT video, and hopefully future ones. But back to the movie.
You've heard me in the background of an unboxing.
Yeah, that's true as well. But back to the movie. Bill Pullman. It was cool to see him again, and you knew the shaving and the beard thing was coming, and he was the Randy Quaid in this movie, basically.
He took the place of Randy Quaid.
Yeah, and only
which
was crazy.
Thank God they didn't bring him in for this movie.
Well, he did die in the first one. He sacrificed himself at the end, which is why I say because he flew his plane into the alien weapon at the end of the first one, destroying the mothership thing, or not the mothership, but the main ship over Area 51. But that's why I'm saying, because that's what Bill Pullman did in this one. Essentially, it didn't work for him so well. But I also want to point out, I had to giggle at myself. I know somebody in the CG did this intentionally somewhere, even though maybe not everybody realized this. But in the first movie, Randy Quaid is kind of phallic, the laser gun, and he flies right into it. This time, the president literally flew straight into the ship's sphincter.
Yeah.
It was an asshole that he flew into.
The sphincter was closing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just a little chuckle for me.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. And seeing his daughter grown up was pretty cool, although there wasn't nearly as much of an emotional connection with all of that.
There wasn't.
No.
I felt like I did not feel sorry for her.
No, not at all. I didn't really care
Will
about
Smith's son isn't his biological son. That might be part of the problem. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that is true. I forgot about that. Oh, which brings me to the other question. And I hate to nitpick this because I guess in 20 years this could happen and probably has in life. But, you know, Vivica A. Fox is barely in this movie. They're like, let's just kill off all the characters' parents. Although they didn't actually kill off Goldblum, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Vivica A. Fox in the first movie was a stripper. And now she's a doctor.
Well, she was
Worldwide,
a stripper paying for...
medical school.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
She was a stripper paying for school.
Why do I even bother rewatching these things? I watched it like 2 days ago and I don't remember that. I mean, what the fuck?
That's why when she found the president's wife, she bandaged her up.
God damn it. You guys are better YouTubers than I am.
And even if that wasn't the case, global upheaval,
Yeah.
massive shortage on all important jobs.
Yeah.
20 years is more than enough time to get a second.
That part
Yeah.
did cross my mind, but I had forgotten that she was doing stripping for medical school. So
And you do know what happened to Will Smith's character, right?
did they actually suggest it in there?
It
No.
was
I
in
missed
it was in the prequel minis.
Oh, see, because I didn't see any of the prequel mini stuff. So
He died testing one of their first hybrids.
oh, I remember somebody
Fighter
saying
jets.
something about
Yeah.
that. Okay, actually, shit, like they needed that line in the movie because for people like me
They
that didn't
did.
see that,
They mentioned,
that's
your
why.
dad died in as a test pilot, and you're going up in a hangar named after him.
Yeah, when
But
he
did
was
they
being
say
interviewed.
he died?
The reporter said that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I don't know what the fuck I was watching. You guys should just do this review because.
speaking of,
Well, just real quick, I was going to say that makes the reason his son is so pissed off at Hemsworth for almost getting him killed in a test that much more important. Somehow I missed that. I don't know.
let's talk about, they talked about Will Smith, being dead before the movie ever came out.
Yeah.
But did you notice how they tried to make the reveal seem like it was actually Will Smith
Yeah,
at first?
yeah.
They did like the whole,
Yeah.
it was all blacked out.
Like just
whole
behind his
figure.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just walked in
And
and
he has a
saw
very
the picture
similar
of Will Smith.
silhouette.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not fooling anyone.
Right. Yeah. True.
Yeah, you're not fooling anybody, but still, it was a good image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a cool bit of cinematography. Yeah. So that was very cool.
But if they never would have done the whole news story about Will Smith's character dying, it would have been much more effective.
yeah.
Like I said, the website actually has an entire timeline of what happened in the last 20 years. And, and that included him dying.
Well, then here's the question then with the timeline on the website, because there's a big character gloss over here as far as I'm concerned, and that is with Jeff Goldblum's ex-wife from the original movie. Like, there's not a single mention of what happened, and by the end, there's this like forced, oh, now he's gonna be in love with this woman. Well, although it was funny when his dad cock-blocked the kiss, that was pretty damn funny. And speaking of, I said that earlier that they're killing off all the parents, and I thought they were gonna kill the dad in the boat and the water stuff. That was really cool, but it was kind of cute that he survived, just knocked out somehow and all that carnage. But
he's too ornery to die.
yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Well,
but,
and he's got to write another book about how he saves the world.
Which I love that he's like the big reveal, like, oh, he's doing book panels and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, it's for a nursing home, and like everybody's like half dead and half asleep. So I thought that was a really nice little reveal. I think he was honestly maybe the one I was most connected to, just because of all that humor and stuff, and driving the school bus with the kids at the end and everything.
Well, him and the good doctor.
The good doctor. Oh yeah. So Dr. Data. Lightning strike.
Everybody saw that, right?
yeah, we all saw that. God liked my joke. Hey, God, subscribe to my channel, would you? I don't know. Anyways, Brent Spiner and Brent Spiner's ass loved it. Why didn't anybody tell me I wasn't wearing pants?
His Brent Spiner's ass, best cameo in any movie.
Yeah, pretty much. And I do love that they brought that back, that the connection from the people that were kind of connected with the alien in the first movie are the ones, because I said that in my rewatch of Independence Day. I'm like, oh, I bet like the president and, and Data, that they would have a connection in this new movie because of that. And they played on that really well, and he was hilarious.
Yeah, he for me was the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, and I think he's the one I most emotionally connected with, honestly. And he doesn't have a lot of, he has a good amount of screen time, but he doesn't have a lot compared to how much you kind of want, because he's still kind of just as crazy and wide-eyed as...
Well, there is not one scene that he was in that I did not enjoy.
That's an absolutely great way of putting it.
With other characters, there were scenes that I was a little bored with.
Yeah.
But never with...
Yeah, necessary scenes, but boring, yeah. Yeah, and then I love the scene, though, when he wakes up with his buddy, who was also in the original movie, and he's like, how long was I out?
Yeah.
Obviously a long time. You've gotten fat. And bald. And then he's like, oh, good, I still have my hair. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was really cool.
Actually, I think the other guy was kind of in love with him.
Oh, they were a couple.
Right, well, this is something... Oh,
couple?
that's right. She was in the restroom after the end. Mike and I were talking about this.
Okay.
Now, Mike knows a little bit more about this, but I'll just set it up, is, from the movie, I feel like they gave you the impression so you could believe that if you wanted to, but, because they want to play to all the audiences, they didn't specifically come out and say it.
Yeah.
But apparently Mike knows about a news article.
Yeah, there was a press release after Orlando where they came out and said, we want to answer the question, yes, they were a couple. There have been questions about it, and yes, they are officially a couple.
So,
okay.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I wish they would have had the balls to say it, but I guess you don't really need to say it, because I don't know. I'm of two minds. Like, on one hand, it'd be nice to say it and promote it, but on the other hand, it's
The thing is, I'm not sure Usher really knew he was in a relationship. He's kind of like, there's this guy who takes care of me. How nice. I knew. Oh, look, shiny.
That's kind of a valid point.
Yeah, but I'm like, a guy goes to your hospital room every day and brings you flowers for 20 years.
That's there's your sign, as one of those redneck comedians says. Didn't mean that offensively. That's just their shtick. But yeah, and then that was cool. But I want to talk about this. One of the big reveals that was not in the other movie is there's a second alien species basically in this, and like this is kind of the start of the movie.
Well, there's another.
Yeah, that's what I should say. Another. They do reveal. There's lots and lots, but this new thing comes to Earth, and like they shoot it down because before they even know if it's a threat or not. Yeah.
As soon as it appeared, it's a sphere that comes out. I said, "Look, it's the Borg."
But aren't the Borg was square?
Yeah.
They have cubes, but they also had spheres.
Okay, I never saw the spheres. But what the sphere reminded me of, this is what I've been wanting to get to, is the Alan Rickman robot in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
I was just like, guys, design choice. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It was much more chill.
Oh yeah, no, this is like the happy version.
Yeah, you shot me down. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I'm the last of my species, but kill me before they find me. Organizing this resistance on another planet of all the surviving species that have been wiped out by these aliens and everything, which is where we're going with part 3 apparently, because they're going to teach us interstellar travel. And it literally ends on like Brent Spiner being like, interstellar travel, let's take the fight to them. Credits. So I was like,
my favorite
bring me 3, here's my money.
Was the sphere saying, I decoded your primitive language. We're primitive?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, that was really
you still
good.
have meat sacks.
Yeah, because apparently they were biological.
And then became virtual.
Yeah, became virtual. So that's kind of interesting. We may be headed that way. That could be cool. I don't know. I'm not totally opposed.
We may already be virtual.
Really, really hoping that third movie will be going to the alien refugees, and I hope that they keep up the whole really non-traditional humanoids.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they make it,
not just painting chicks green.
A planet full of elves.
Basically, yeah.
It's gonna cross over with the Warcraft universe, and but yeah, I thought all that stuff was really cool. The alien ship was pretty neat because we got to go inside and do some stuff. I thought that was clever that they had the pilots get stranded inside the ship that had its own ecosystem, because it was a way of going to an alien planet and having a battle.
Going to another planet.
Right, without having to do a whole story of how that worked out. So I thought that was very cool. But
I was so...
And it answers some questions about, how are these aliens handling interstellar travel,
And I was so scared that they were going to do the Star Wars trench run.
Well,
because there were about 3 times
that
it looked like they were going to do the actual trench run.
Right. And,
like they even had the lights lit up on the ship for it.
Right. And again, that's what we're talking about. And I don't know if I said in this or the non-spoiler, but you get a little bit of everything. And you get Independence Day, but you get some Starship Troopers, you get some Alien, you get some Aliens, you get some Star Wars, some Star Trek, even a little bit of Godzilla in there. So, you get a nice little heap of all sci-fi greatness.
Yeah. And be on the lookout for the Star Trek Easter egg with Brent Spiner, who played Data, saying he's going to take the man he loves to sickbay to make him make him well.
Oh, nice. So, and speaking of the fact that there were some aliens in here, there's this great siege of the alien escaping prison in Area 51, and I'm like waiting for somebody to be like, they're in the vent shafts. It's like 10 meters, 8 meters, 1 meter. They're right on top of us. Game over, man. Game over. It didn't happen, sadly, but we got a badass fucking alien queen. And what a great design. And they did not Will Smith did say something about, he did get a line in that ended with bitch, but I'm like,
yeah,
I was just so wanting somebody somewhere to be like, get away from her, you bitch. But it didn't happen. But the design was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, she was kaiju.
Yeah, that's where we get a little bit of Godzilla. She was massive and running through and destroying that base. And she had her own shield generator, which I thought was really fucking clever because the president from the first movie, he died in vain. He sacrificed himself. It didn't work. They were trying to kill the queen to stop all the drones, and because of her shield, didn't work. So I thought, right on. Good twist.
He bought them time.
That's true. He did buy them time. I guess it wasn't completely in vain, but. So I still don't know how them actually shooting her shield worked, how they destroyed her shield, but they did.
Any shield will be overloaded.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess that does happen, but...
and hers is not ship size, it's a personal size shield, so
that's true.
It's probably slightly easier to overwhelm.
Yeah. And it was pretty cool, too, that then she decides to use all the other ships to become her shield, swarming around her, which was an awesome visual.
But I just want to say, just watching her run through the desert, that was just beautiful.
It really was. What a brilliant choice of locations too, the salt plains.
Yeah.
So it's like just flat. Everything's flat with like super distant mountains. I mean, it was really a really beautiful visual.
Yeah, I don't think it would have looked anywhere near as nice if we were doing this in the middle of a city.
No, we've seen that a million times. I think that's why it's so striking.
Too much destruction going on.
Yeah.
This put all the focus on the
monster
alien queen.
Yeah, in full broad daylight too, like noontime daylight, and it was still scary.
Yeah, the only other elements you were watching were a bus and a plane.
Yeah.
And that made it awesome.
And it was very, very cool. Very effective stuff.
And actually, once they actually get her out of the exoskeleton,
That was
which
funny.
I was like, that CGI is, oh my god.
Yeah, oh god, I didn't even stop to think about the CG. The CG in this movie is pretty much pitch perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't recall a single bad
CG
frame.
in Pitch Perfect?
If there was, I would have seen it.
I mean,
no.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering what it was like for the people who actually saw the double feature.
Yeah.
Because the first one had some great special effects. I mean, everybody loved the buildings blowing up.
Well, and especially for its time.
But and at the time it looks fantastic. But rewatching it, it's like the mats just don't hold up at all.
I mean, compared to a lot of movies from that era, I think those effects still hold up way better than a lot of those movies. But I mean, it is still just dated in terms of technology. And
so
everything.
I'm kind of curious to see what it would have been like to go from that to 20 years later,
back to back
effects.
like that.
Yeah,
that would have been kind of fascinating. but I mean, it's still a good time. I loved it. And the new destruction, instead of just blowing things up, like the gravity sucking everything up, is really cool. Like seeing the people just getting sucked up and realizing, oh my god, what a horrifying death that when you just get dropped amongst this debris field and everything, which is crazy. Yeah, no physics. We already talked about turn off your physics brain. Turn it off. Oh shit, wrong button. Mike, quick, stat.
Where am I? How did I get to the movie theater? Mike, what are you doing here?
It's 20 years later. Yeah, there you go. But look, I mean, it was really cool effects, and I was pretty happy with that. Although I do want to say one thing, because they made the joke in that scene about the guy falling down and doing the controlled fall. What they call it?
It's a controlled dive.
Controlled descent. You both sound right. Whatever. I'll say the easier word, controlled dive. But then at the end, when they captured alien fighters, but then the fighters get called into the swarm to protect the queen, and they use the space thrusters to go fly up. And they're like, oh, but we don't have control to fly. We'll have to do the controlled dive. Well, it looked like they could still fly those fucking ships because they're chasing down the queen, and then.
Okay, so when you lose engines on a plane, you still have the wing flaps.
These things don't have wing flaps. These were like gravitation wells. They weren't using. Okay, you know what? I stumbled into the physics.
You told us
yes,
to turn off.
I did. I just stumbled into the physics discussion. Moving on. All right, so then there was the warlord, and who I like to call not John Oliver. And I'm like, why was John Oliver not cast in this role? It would have been so much awesome. The guy was really good. It's just, he looked similar enough that I was like, what? But I thought all that stuff was pretty cool. That we had this whole other story that I'd like to see another side movie or a little animated movie about the Africa
that would actually
fighting all the aliens.
Yeah. It was supposedly a 10-year war.
Yeah.
You know, hand-to-hand combat with the aliens. That would make a great, mini.
Right, like either a mini series or do like a 30-minute CG animated film or something.
Yeah, animation would be the easier way to go.
Yeah, then you can make it really epic for less money.
That would be something I'd really like to watch, because I'd like to see the build-up behind that story of the warlord's father.
Yeah, yeah, because again, there was a lot of really good story in there, and they're like, oh no, forget the good story, let's get to the destruction. Yeah, because
which
that's what this kind of movie is.
Because they introduced the element of his brother had gotten killed.
Yeah, he's gonna avenge him.
Avenging his brother, but until he had looked at the picture and said, "I'll avenge you, brother," I had no idea.
Right.
Well, no, he said 10 minutes before then that that his father arrogance had cost the lives of half of his people, including his brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the only one that misses crucial details.
I missed the line.
It must be really difficult being that attentive. I'm glad one of us is.
Because I remember him saying that he was pissed at his father for being so closed-minded and costing the lives of his people. I just didn't hear the part about his brother.
Yeah. But those were interesting, and I'm thinking they're going to be back for the next one.
And I got very much like a Terminator 2 feel with them walking and just crushing the alien skulls that were all on the ground.
There was a little bit of that,
that little effect.
Yeah, that was
again another part for the sci-fi mashup. List.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Terminator. Yeah, they did. They got little homages to all those awesome movies in there, so that was really cool. I think really the only other big thing we really haven't touched upon is Chris Hemsworth, and
not Chris.
Liam Hemsworth. Miley Cyrus is one of Miley Cyrus's exes. Yeah, true. Okay. But am I thinking Patrick Swayze, or was it both? It was probably both. Anyways, not at the same time. Okay, tangent. Anyways, Liam Hemsworth. Very enjoyable in this. They didn't really give him shit to play on. I mean, he was an orphan, but they didn't give him much character to play with. But he was a very serviceable lead action hero that you cared about. You didn't hate or anything, And I thought that was kind of neat. They gave him and the not Will Smith a little bit of history.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I kind of liked his little buddy a little more.
Yeah, I liked his little partner in crime there.
Yeah, that guy was kind of cool.
Because I saw the article about there being a gay couple.
Oh, so you're thinking initially.
Because I didn't know which characters it was.
Right.
So I thought
maybe that was what it was going to be.
That was going to be him, falling in love with him,
Yeah, well, I think for me, I didn't get that because I knew Hemsworth was with the president's daughter from the trailers. I just thought that was, but I'd watched a lot of the trailers for the channel, so I was a little more familiar, perhaps.
And of course, once the little guy goes, ooh, Chinese
the Chinese girl, I was like, oh, well, he's off the table.
Yeah, which there was a line that took me a minute at the end, because he's trying to hook up with her the whole time, and not Will Smith's character name is Dylan. And so Hemsworth and the president's daughter kiss at the end, and he turns to the Asian. They we could try that, if you want, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she says, what she actually says is dinner first.
Yeah.
And I heard Dylan first, and I got terribly confused for a minute. I'm like, wait, first off, she wants to kiss Dylan, but first, and then she's gonna kiss him. And it took me a second before I was like, oh, dinner,
and then further confusion because the guy was okay with that.
Right? Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, huh?
Were you saying is this a Chinese song?
Yeah, it just totally confused me for that split second until I remembered the earlier line when he was picking her up, how about we go to dinner, maybe fall in love, I was like, oh, she said dinner first. Okay. See, this is what happens when I don't get to sit in the exact center of the theater. I don't hear the dialogue properly. My excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, shit. I'm about to get in trouble. But anyways, I think, what do you guys think? We cover everything? We hit all the major beats? Any other big spoilers we want to throw out at people?
No. Did we actually talk about not John Oliver?
Well, I mean, there wasn't much to talk about. We basically hit it. He was some kind of weird lawyer thing that ends up having a heart of a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us were able to catch what the hell he was.
Yeah.
We don't know what his job was.
If you
he
know,
always carried a briefcase with him, and that was all we knew.
Till he threw it away because he thought the Earth was over. Oh, the ship guys next to where the major spaceship was drilling, and they found the ship with millions of dollars in gold.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, what do we? And then this guy comes down. They're all drunk off their asses. They're like, what do we care? World's ending. We lost our money. And he's like,
this
they
is
look
the
at.
U.S. government. They want someone to monitor the drilling. And
Yeah, they're
we're
like
the only one in the area.
It's like, well, yeah, tell him to give us $100 million.
They said it's a deal.
And they're like, fuck, oh, get the fucking work. And then at the end, when they won, they're like, we won.
Yeah.
We're rich. Like, it was literally like that fast of a line, and I thought that was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do with that little ship, what they did in tomorrow, Day After Tomorrow, where the world was freezing.
Yeah, I
and
remember
they had
the
the Irish or whatever crew. It was 3 of them in an office, and they were just drinking whiskey because the world was gonna end. I thought they were gonna do that with them,
and then just have them
keep going back to them,
Yeah.
just getting more and more dead drunk. You know.
Yeah, no, but it worked out. All right, well, there you guys have it. So that's pretty much all the spoilers, at least we can remember in the heat of the moment, and hope you enjoyed that. So this is the spoiler video, so feel free to talk spoilers down in the comments if you saw it or whatever. Let me know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't. If you agree, you disagree, let's hear it. Let's geek out. That's what I like to do. You know that. You've watched enough of these, maybe. If you haven't watched enough of these, I got a special message for you right after I say this next part. The next part is thumbs up of encouragement. Encourage us to do more because we love doing this stuff anyways, but it's always nice to be encouraged. That next part I said was coming. Subscribe if you're new here, if you haven't seen this video. I think actually it's, let's see, if we're in the Facebook, it's probably up here, or I guess it depends. It depends on what
YouTube is
device.
down there.
It depends on what device you're looking at, because like if you're,
that's
if you're
true.
if you're on a piece, like on a actual desktop, it's over.
I think
Anyways,
I can figure it
yeah,
out.
yeah, you know where the subscribe button is. It's big and it's red and it's beautiful and you can click it. And share with your friends so we can all geek out together, because that's what this channel is all about. It's just partying and having a good time together, geeking out over these things we love. Other than that, again, just because it's new, I'm just wanting to make sure I promote it a little bit and you won't hear too much about it in the future. But I have started a Patreon account. If you like these videos, you want a lot of bonus videos that you can only get as Patreon, it's like $1 a month. You don't have to give it to me, but I mean, if you want, it's out there. Links down in the description. So it's all up to you. No pressure. But yeah, so we had a blast, and I guess we're going to get on out of here. And until the next one, guys, we will see you all later.